Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
You know, the best of the best that the entertainment industry has to offer is converging on our city as we speak. For Canadian Screen Week and the upcoming Canadian Screen Awards. And you know what? It only helps that this year they've decided to reinvent the wheel just a little bit and give audiences something new and special and potentially pretty exciting. And you know what? As always, if you're within the sound of my voice, that must mean you are in the seats with once more. As always, my name is Dave Voigt, and I'm the host of this podcast, where we sit down with a wide-ranging variety of entertainment industry professionals and we pick their brain about current projects, state of the industry, how they got started, and so very much more, in a light and in a conversational fashion. And you know, if you like how we do things around here, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you do, because quite frankly, you're listening. Please subscribe. Hit that button, hit that subscribe button, give us the old 5-star rating on your podcast provider of choice. We're available pretty much everywhere, over at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google, and plus we archive every single one of our episodes over at our In the Seats YouTube channel, so if you can give us a like and subscribe there as well, we'd absolutely appreciate it. Also, don't hesitate to check us out on social media. We're on the Facebook, we're on the Twitter, we're on the Instagram, we're on the TikTok, and we're on the Letterboxd for all sorts of fun updates. And finally, and I do dare say most importantly, please pay us a visit over at In the Seats, intheseats.ca, for all the latest and greatest from the world of film, television, basically the moving image at large. Because if we love to watch it and write about it and talk about it, guess what? We love it when you come by and read about it and listen about it. So please, pay us a visit. In case you weren't aware, it is Canadian Screen Week here in Toronto as a myriad of awards are being handed out across so many different genres, disciplines, disciples, across the board. Anything that's gone on to Canadian screens is getting talked about in awards, more or less, during this whole week. But it all leads up to the big ceremony, which is going to be this Sunday, April 16th. Pretty sure it is going to be available on CBC, possibly CBC Gem, but it's a beautiful thing, and I mean we're really in an interesting and exciting time for Canadian film and television, and we're on the 11th version of the Canadian Screen Awards now, and in celebration of that, what they did was they brought in a new set of producers to change up the formula, to change up the environment and the vibe, and to give audiences something a little different and something special. And we had the unique privilege of sitting down with the producers of the show, who come from a company called Makers, and it's two people who are basically from the creative side and also from the industry side. We had the unique pleasure of talking with Kitty Lafferty and Roma Ahi about what they're bringing to the Canadian Screen Awards this year and trying to really take the award show to a different level. And I mean, I think they're going to do it because there's really some exciting stuff going on with what they did. And we talked with sort of how they got the job and just sort of really diving into it all and trying to really elevate the material and the content as much as they can. I mean, and it's going to be an exciting show with people like Ryan Reynolds and Shimulu and Catherine O'Hara, who are going to be getting big awards, and obviously Samantha Bee is coming back to host. It's going to be a fun show, and like I said, it is going to be this Sunday, the 16th of April. Check your local listings. Pretty sure, like I said, CBC Gem. But first, enjoy our talk with Katie and Roma, because between you and me, it's a darn good one. All right. Well, obviously, first off, Roma, Katie, I just want to say thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are in the sort of the thick of it all right now. So,
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you for chatting with us today.
now, I mean, obviously, like this year particularly, it feels like there's a little bit of different energy when it comes to the CSAs, and people are like, it feels like it's bigger. Like, can you walk me through, I guess not just, taking part in it, but like give us a sense of what the job kind of entails to really put on a show of this kind of magnitude. Because I mean, people see the one show that happens on, on TV, but in reality, like this is going on for a week.
Absolutely. I'm really glad that you say that and that you feel the excitement about the Canadian Screen Awards this year. I think it's really nice that the nominees get to be together in person for 7 shows the week before the broadcast. So I think the fact that the community gets to come together again to celebrate, to watch acceptance speeches is really, really rejuvenating for the community. And then I think what we've done with the broadcast show, it's a real reinvention of the format. We're doing something totally different. We have a lot of really, really exciting stars in the show this year. Samantha Bee, Catherine O'Hara, Ryan Reynolds, just to name a few. And so I feel like we're kind of approaching this show with a new enthusiasm about Canadian content.
No, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I mean, talk to me a little bit about working with Sam Bee, because I mean, when somebody goes to, I mean, obviously when Canadians go to the US, we're so happy for them, but when they come back, it feels like an even extra victory. Like talk to me a little bit about having Sam on board for this.
Yeah, Samantha Bee has been such a pleasure to work with. Not only is she an incredible on-camera pro, like the smoothest shoot day I think I have ever participated in. She was so brilliant, but she took the job really, really seriously. She wanted to insist that her writing team was Canadian so that they understood that this event is really important to the Canadian film and television community and to respect that. And she was just involved in so much collaboration in terms of coming up with a script, working together on the shoot day. And she also brought this new excitement and enthusiasm to the show.
Now, I mean, Roma, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
When does the process to put on an event like this start? Because I mean, I can imagine it's probably well into last year.
We wish. Right? Isn't that what every producer wants, is more time and more money?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we were very lucky to have an amazing relationship with the Academy. So we've been kind of walking hand in hand in this new format. It was very much like, let's get to the drawing board. What are we going to do? It's, in COVID, I mean, obviously there was a lot of things to talk about in terms of not having a live show. So everything, like, when you just know that something's going to click really well together. And it was like, I know we need a host, Sam Bee, it clicked, right? And it's like, great. One of our special award winners, great, that clicked. Everything just started clicking as soon as we got like Sam Bee into place. And listen, she's from the Daily Show, right? Like, she is used to moving fast. She has a team that moves fast. We were all moving very fast together. And I think that part of that sort of like collective is going to show up, I think, also in the show, of just a little bit of rawness, right? And not kind of just always being so, call it quote unquote like award perfect, right? But
Sure.
It's going to have a really fun, I think entertaining has been Katie and I's like North Star for everything. Yeah, that's a short.
Now, I mean, walk me through a little bit how you guys are kind of shifting the format a little bit. I mean, especially when you have some of the bigger award recipients coming up. Like, I mean, obviously like Ryan, who's obviously up for anything, somebody like Catherine, somebody like Shimu. Like, talk to me a little bit about how this award show might play a little differently than what audiences expect.
Mm-hmm. Well, like Roma said, I think that our main goal here, there's 2 main goals. We want to respect and celebrate the nominees and the winners. And we also want to entertain the audience and make them really, really excited about Canadian content. We want the show not only to provide a platform for the content that has been nominated, but also make the audience step away and go, I want to see these. I've got to see this movie. I've got to see this TV show. And because this isn't a live show and we're not just going to a 5-second clip of each nominee and then announcing the winner, we get to do immersive hacks on each of these films, on each of the TV nominees. And so you're able to actually have people comment on the material and I think really make people excited about the material. I know me, even as someone who's fairly integrated in the Canadian film and television community, I was watching some of the packs for the show, and I came away really wanting to see the film Brother or Rice Boy Sleeps right away, because I heard people talking about it so passionately that it just made me really just proud of the content that we're producing. So I think that this format has allowed us to experience and explore Canadian film and television in a more immersive and hopefully entertaining way.
Well, I think
I think,
yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think to add to that as well, we've been able to emphasize some storytelling, in the midst of all of this. And even though we are talking to some very famous stars, it's also not in the typical format of an award show where you're just getting an acceptance speech, right? We're having I want to use the word a little bit of exclusivity and intimacy, because, we're getting a chance to just talk, right? Yeah. And getting a chance to kind of bring out some POVs that maybe you're not hearing in the midst, you know what I mean, of award season typically. So I think storytelling and narration and all of that, it's nice that we get to take a beat and breathe a bit, and kind of get up close and personal with some of these categories and award winners.
For sure. No, I mean, I love that you say that some of the beats were actually selling you on the movies, but at the same time, I'm kind of curious. Do you consciously have to stay away from sort of knowing more about sort of the nominees when you're doing a show like this, or do you kind of have to keep a certain degree of distance? Like, because I mean, on one end, I can imagine the temptation to go watch the movie and really dive in, but on the other end, hours in the day, I've got to do this whole big thing. How do you sort of balance the two?
I think that's a really good question, and one that we've never been asked before. I think it's really important that the whole team on this show is really, really interested in Canadian film and television. Absolutely. But I see there being a really great value in it being a bit exploratory and educational for us as well.
Right.
Like you said, it's really important for us to be able to watch some of these packs as a regular audience member and not someone who is fully integrated into the film and television community. We don't want this to feel too insider. We want this to be a show that anyone can enjoy, and again, can step away going, I've been missing out on some of these shows. I have got to check these out. So I think if we were to approach this show from a really kind of insider space and having a vast depth of knowledge about each of these films and shows, it could be a little bit of a disadvantage. So I would say it's making sure that we all have that interest, that curiosity, a real passion for uplifting the film and television community,
sure.
But also be learning along the way, because like you said, we unfortunately don't have time to watch everything. I wish we did. We'll build it into the production schedule next year.
Next year, yeah. That was a great question, David.
Well, thank you. No, but I mean, it's one of those things where I'm curious because, I mean, obviously, the both of you both have like extensive backgrounds in the industry, coming at it from various angles. And I'm curious because the award show feels like this amalgamation of not just people who know how to run TV or make a film, but are also understanding branding and getting sponsorship on board, all that kind of stuff. Can you guys?
Yeah, I was going to get. Yeah, absolutely. Please. I was gonna get into that a little bit. I think that is, I think that's the beauty of our partnership, me and Katie, and just makers in general. We're a company that has, over 70 producers, like full time, all under one wing. When Katie and I teamed up last year, to kind of get into this, it was so cool being from I've been in entertainment like before, but to then joining advertising for 10 years and then coming back into this, it's so cool to kind of have the tales of two cities join and have a certain lens on things. So yes, you're right? Sometimes you're looking at it from a brand perspective. Sometimes you're looking at it from like how audiences as well, I think, consume entertainment these days is also very different. And I think you need to kind of sometimes dial into that a little bit. One of the other things to touch on it is I think we're trying to also add a bit of like a stylistic approach to it as well when it comes down to, graphics, and we put a huge emphasis on things in music. This is something you also, yes, you see it immensely in film, at times, I think, in TV, but you definitely see it a lot in the branded content world. So it's been really cool to merge a whole lot of worlds together, even right down into our post team, into the people that we have on it, and kind of like blend all the worlds together and see what's gonna come out.
Would it be fair to say the pairing of you two as makers is sort of the collision of the creative, the creative side and the commerce side? Because I love what you said before, Katie, just about sort of uplifting all the nominees and the award winners. But at the same time, it's like on one end that's a beautiful thing, but on the other end, we want them to get paid as well. We want people to see their stuff. We want stuff to pay for the downloads. We want people to go to the theaters.
Totally.
It's such a marriage.
It's bang on. I've been in the industry as a producer. I am a documentary filmmaker, and I am very much the person who's like, want to creatively represent these films and all of the work that's been put into it. But it's so great to have Roma's perspective, because she's able to balance that kind of interest and the need I have to really uplift that community with like, let's do all of this. Let's also make it really, really watchable. And so I do think that when we come together, we find this, like, there's this kind of great tension and balance and collaboration, and it's kind of made something I think really unique this year. And we've come together in a really cool way on it.
Between the two of us, David, we always say there's beauty and tension, right? Like there's such a beauty and tension in terms of two different perspectives that you can bring to something. And I mean, we're gonna arm wrestle like probably right up until like the very end, but we're so proud together, you know, usually at what comes out of that, right? So it's an awesome union altogether of all the worlds.
Well, I mean, this is a beautiful thing because, I mean, again, it's making everything collide together. Because, I mean, Roma, on one end, I'm sure you've got other projects you're managing. I mean, I know, Katie, you've got a film in the works with some big stuff going on. I can't imagine the copious amounts of coffee that are involved in putting together a show like this.
It's so crazy. I'm waiting for my coffee to arrive. I got home at 2 a.m. from LA last night, but it was worth it because we were shooting with Catherine O'Hara and Amy Poehler, and it's like you balance the exhaustion,
you balance
with
it.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, I'm coming out of a VO session just moments ago with Andrew Shaw. So we're all over it. We're all, you know what? There's so much heart into this, David. I don't think people really realize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That something like this can truly be a passion project. We're so obsessed with the Canadian talent and industry. It just like, yes, it's hard work and all of that, but just it's also very exciting. You know what I mean? To be in this position to get to kind of shake it up a little.
Do you think at the end of the day, just to put a bow on this, that's the one liner you would both push out into the universe, that at the end of the day, like, there has to be the love there to be able to elevate these artists and to elevate this content? Like, that is such a beautiful thing. 100%.
Thank you. That is the tagline. You are so right. I think that's true. It's like, again, people might not realize, like, there is so much passion put into this and so much love for this show and so much genuine belief in the Canadian film and television industry. I think Roma and I have felt it's really important for the industry to step out and claim that loudly. And we're trying to do that with the show again this year, which is just, the show it is bold. It's unapologetic. It's very, it's just like a bright, bold celebration of Canadian film and television. And I think that for us to be able to deliver that, we have to feel that inside amongst all the exhaustion.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be there for a couple of days in the media room, and I mean, I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, I'm looking forward to the success of the entire week, and
we'll be there running around with we'll be running around there with hard drives getting stuff.
You can't miss us. You
won't miss us. Yeah, you won't miss us.
I wish you all the success and all the sleep once it's put to bed and it's done, because I'm sure you'll want to sleep for a week when it's all finished.
We will. Thank you so much for such a thoughtful interview.
All right. Thanks again, Roma, Katie, you both.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
And don't forget to visit our friends over at Bay Street Video for all your DVD, Blu-ray rental, or purchasing needs this summer, as they are still open for curbside and some mailing delivery as well. Over at 1172 Bay Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, you can give them a call at 416-964-9088. That's 416-964-9088. Or send them an email at baystreetvideoto@gmail.com for any of your DVD and Blu-ray needs.